Good morning, I'm Roly. I'm one of the custodians of this beautiful woodland in the heart of Derbyshire. And this is video blog 153. Today I want to spend a little time talking about one of the quiet treasures of the British uplands and an old woodland edges. A plant that many walkers pass without realizing how deeply rooted it is in folklore, survival, herbal medicine, and memory. This is bilberry, known scientifically as Vaccinium myrtillus, sometimes called whortleberry, blaeberry, or simply the wild blueberry of the moors. If you ever wandered across the heather-covered hills of Derbyshire, of the Peak District, Scotland, Wales, or the old northern commons in late summer, you may already know it without even knowing its name. Low growing, wiry and modest, bilberry hugs the earth beneath the wind, producing those deep blue-black berries that stain the fingers purple and leave evidence on the lips of anyone who has ever quietly foraged amongst the heathlands. There is something ancient about bilberry country. It belongs to rough ground, peat soils, open woodland clearings, and the edges between cultivated land and the older wild. It feels like a plant that remembers Britain before fences and roads, when people moved seasonally through forests and moors, gathering food directly from the landscape. For centuries, bilberries and motorbikes were an important source of nutrition for rural communities. Families would climb onto the moors carrying baskets or old tins, collecting enough berries to make pies, preserves, wine, syrups and medicines. In some northern towns, there were even bilberry fairs, where the harvest became part of local culture and trade. Children earned coins picking them, and recipes were handed down through generations. But bilberry is not only tied to food. Like many woodland and heathland plants, it carries an old thread of folklore. In parts of Britain, bilberry patches were associated with protection, luck, and the hidden spirits of the hills. Some traditions suggested that gathering the berries respectfully brought you good fortune, while greed or carelessness in the harvest could anger the unseen forces believed to dwell within the landscape. There are echoes here of older animistic beliefs where the land itself was seen as alive, conscious, and deserving of respect. Even today, when you crouch quietly amongst the bilberry bushes with the wind moving through the heather and the distant cry of birds overhead, it is not difficult to understand why people once felt these places carried a spiritual presence. Medicinally, bilberry has a long and fascinating history. The berries are rich in antioxidants known as anthocyanins, the compounds responsible for the dark colour, and modern research has explored their potential benefits for circulation, inflammation and eye health. During the Second World War, there were stories of RAF pilots eating bilberry jam before night flights because it was believed to improve night vision. Whether the effect was partly folklore or partly science The story itself became legendary and remains deeply woven into bilberry's reputation. Traditionally, the fruit was also used to support digestion, reduce inflammation, and strengthen the body after illness. Herbalists often valued bilberry leaves as well, brewing them into teas for various ailments, though modern herbal guidance advises caution with excessive use of the leaves. What interests me most, though, is not simply the chemistry of the plant, but what bilberry represents in our relationship with nature. It reminds us that medicine once began in the hedgerow, the woodland floor, and the open hill. People observe plants carefully, learning through generations what nourished, soothed, healed, or harmed. That knowledge became part of folklore because survival itself depended upon remembering the land. Sitting here today in this Derbyshire woodland, it feels important not to lose that connection completely. In a world increasingly driven by speed, screens, and artificial environments, Bilberry quietly asks us to slow down, kneel close to the earth, and pay attention again. It teaches patience because no one harvests bilberries quickly. You move carefully, one berry at a time, hands stained blue, breathing woodland air, listening to wind in the trees. There is a kind of mindfulness in it, an older rhythm that belongs more to the seasons than the clock. And perhaps that is why plants like this continue to matter. They are not simply botanical specimens or ingredients in herbal books. They are living links between the people and place. Reminders that the old relationship with the land is still there if we choose to notice it. So whatever you are watching this from today, whether deep in the countryside or far from woodland and more, I hope this little glimpse into the world of the bilberry encourages you to look more closely at the quiet plants around you, because sometimes the most modest things in nature carry the deepest stories. So I do hope you enjoyed this Custodians of the Woodland, and I do hope to see you again.